Hello and welcome to a terrific show, the Women's Network. I am Elke and I'm your host. Please stay tuned because we have a show you don't want to miss. We will talk about music, we will have fun, we will have excitement, we have musicians, so don't go away. In fact, get yourself pencil and paper because I know you want to write a few things down. So let's go on with our show and let us introduce you to my first guest, Miss Carol Chaikin. Carol, please. Here's Carol Chaikin. She's the music director of the women's event that will come up at the end of September at the Ford Amphitheatre. Carol is a native of Los Angeles, but has traveled all over the world and played her saxophone and her flute and the other instruments she's playing. She has released records, DVD, CDs, and is the music director of our upcoming event, Lady Jazz. Perfect, great.
Hi there.
We want to hear some more later on, Carol.
Absolutely.
And my next guest is Nedra Wheeler. Nedra, if you please.
Okay.
Nedra is a bassist with a Master of Fine Arts and a Bachelor of Fine Arts in Music Performance from California Institute of the Arts. She has 16 years of teaching experience and 25 years of professional performance experience. She also is a native of Los Angeles and is an educator and volunteer in the South Central community and teaches bass for the Thelonious Monk Institute of Jazz. Nedra also has her own quartet and her debut disc, Gifts Live at Birdland West. I'm sorry. She has performed with stellar musicians such as Ella Fitzgerald, Billy Higgins, Cedar Walton, Billy Charles, Karen Briggs, Ravi Coltrane, Alice Coltrane, and so many more. Please welcome Nedra Wheeler on bass. Nedra, wonderful. We want to hear much more later on during the show. And last but definitely not least on our visual show here is our host and master of ceremony for the event Lady Jazz, Mr. James Janise. James, it's so nice to have you here.
It is a pleasure to be here.
I took your card, but anyway, you are the gentleman of jazz, so let's hear about a little bit about your background.
My background is a radio background. Well, it began as an engineer, and I worked my way into a situation wherein someone heard me speak and told me that I should be in radio. So I got some training.
They were right.
And I got into radio, and I've been doing radio for the last 20 years now. I've been on 3 different radio stations, KCLA, KLAS, and most recently KKJZ, which is the jazz station out in Long Beach. I was there for 14 years. I was the voice of jazz and blues. Currently, I'm on internet radio, KCLA FM, on Friday mornings at 8:30 a.m., where I do Miles Monk, Train, and Cannonball.
Boy, you're not missing a beat there. And you will be the master of ceremony and the host for Lady Jazz this year. And tell us a little bit about it later on, but it's a great event coming up. And I don't want to miss our guest of honor, Cora Bryant. Let's call her. Since she couldn't be here, unfortunately, let's give her a call.
Let's do that.
Okay. First of all, let me get her phone number. All right, here we go. Let's hope she's there. If not, we will have to try her again.
Hello, please leave your message.
I guess she had to step out for a
Yes, she
moment.
stepped out.
Anyway, Cora Bryant is the guest of honor at the upcoming Lady Jazz event at the Ford Amphitheatre in next close to the Hollywood Bowl. Cora is a jazz pianist, a pioneer. I'm getting so confused. She's a jazz pioneer, and she hails back from the world of bebop and has literally played with the greatest, and still is very active. And we are all so sorry that she can't be here today, but maybe later on we can get a glimpse of her through telephone communication.
And she's also a premier trumpet player.
Oh, well, we'll talk to her about that. Yeah. Nedra just told me that she's a great trumpet player. I know, I heard her, and she will probably fill us in. Well, let's go on with the show. Carol, tell us a little bit about the event.
Well, this year, first of all, this is our 8th year doing it, and it's the brainstorm of our producer, Laquita Chambly, where she really wants to feature the female artists. And in so many concerts over the years, there's been one female artist amongst, the 20 male artists, and this is an opportunity for it to be all female. And they really have been some fantastic concerts. I mean, I feel very honored to be a part of this. The other day, somebody emailed me a video clip of about 3 years back, Carmen Bradford singing with Karen Briggs playing the violin, and that clip was sensational. And I was part of the concert, but I forgot how good it was. And also Karen Hernandez in the past brought the house down. People were, on their feet, and it's really a party.
Well, I have been to about 3 concerts, and it's wonderful. There is so much energy. There's so much life. People are so enthusiastic about your performances. I mean, I literally wouldn't miss it. It's just something to see. Also, they're all women. And what is Laquita's phrase? Some of the best jazz musicians in the industry happen to be women. And I think she's right.
Absolutely.
So we want to talk about that a little later. I want to go back to James. James, you are the master of ceremony, and I've heard you not only at the last concert, but I've heard you on the radio, and your voice is so that you want to just listen to it, and you make it so inviting when we sit there in the audience, and you really make that event an event. So tell us a little bit about the lineup, if you know, a little bit about the what's going on, what's coming up.
The lineup features a powerhouse all-female orchestra, and the emphasis is on brass, hence the name Kickin' Brass. And Carol, of course, is the musical director. Nedra Wheeler will be the bass player. We're going to have Karen Hammock playing piano and Maria Martinez playing the drums. Tanya Darby is the trumpet player, and young Robin Javier, a young lady who has been making inroads into music, has begun to play more and more jazz with her trombone playing, and she's magnificent at every step of the way. She's magnificent, as are all the ladies. But she particularly stands out to me because I've watched her since she was a very small woman, and watched her blossom and grow into this wonderful trombone player. And we also have Esther Godinez, and I haven't seen a lot of Esther.
She's
but
phenomenal.
Her percussion work is just absolutely sublime. And every time I've seen her, I've only seen her a couple of times, but in the times I've seen her, it was sublime. She is a magnificent player. All of these ladies are the powerhouse band that we're going to have that's going to wow the house, and they're all women, and that's part of what gets me up for this all year long.
Yeah.
Being able to present in the best light that I can these women who play so very, very well.
And you do a great job, because I know you are hosting so many events, including the big Playboy event at the Hollywood Bowl, right?
I have.
and to be there with this women instrumental group, I think that's wonderful, and you're doing a great job. And by the way, you're probably the only male they have invited for this event.
I am the only one on the program.
Are you? Well, anyway, we're really glad to have you. I'm glad they probably have to have you. Anyway, Nedra, let's hear a little bit about your background. How did you get into playing this huge, big instrument, which we call bass? It's like, why didn't you just go with a flute or a saxophone?
Well, I like the sound of the instrument. I'm a person that likes sound, and I love the tone of the string bass, and I selected it in junior high school. I started in junior high school and kept it up, and eventually earned a bachelor's and master's of fine arts degrees from CalArts. And I divide my time between the classroom and playing live performances, and doing a lot of independent recordings and so
Well, you
forth.
sound like a busy lady, and we want to hear more with this bass later on. I mean, it's so big, and it's so, when you think it's only 4 strings and you can make so much music. Anyway, right now we came up to Carol playing us a few tunes. So why don't you go ahead?
Want to hear
and-
something?
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
This is a very spontaneous get-together, and Ned and I haven't even really discussed what we're going to do. So
This is we just want to hear you right now.
Oh, you want
If
to just
can,
hear
yeah.
me? All right.
You'll get your chance later on.
Thank you.
Oh boy, it's great. I've heard you several times before, and you are wonderful. You have such sense of music. So give us a little bit about your background.
My background. Well,
I know I gave the audience some, but I know there's so much. So what stands out?
I love all sorts of music. I got my first training. Well, I started playing classical music, and then I got my training playing bebop music and switched over to saxophone. And now I make my living making music. So,
Carol, can we just wait for a moment?
Absolutely.
We have Clara on the phone. Clara,
Yes.
we are taping right this very moment, and we're all here. Carol, Nedra, James. Hello, hello.
Hi, Clara.
Tell us a little bit. We're so excited to hear you. And I introduce.
Really?
Yeah, we hear you. You are a jazz pioneer. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, everybody knows I came from Texas, a small town, Denison, Texas, and when my brother went to the service in 1940, he went in the service 41, and that's when he left his trumpet at home. Although I didn't know my oldest brother played the trumpet, I'd never seen him play, I still have never heard him play. But he left his trumpet at home, and when I became a junior in 1940, I was a junior in 1942, they got a new band director, and we got a marching band and a swing band, and I wanted to be in it. So when I told my dad, he said, well, Brooke, I'm only he was making $7 a week, And he said, I can't afford to buy anything, but you can play, if you can play your brother's horn. I said, what horn? Because I didn't know anything about it. And he went and got my brother's trumpet. And he told me that, you know, if I could play that, and naturally I'll put the horn up. I was trying to put the mouthpiece in my mouth, and Dad said, that's not the way you do it. But I had an uncle who had played with Buddy Tate, who lived in Sherman, which was about 10 miles from my home. And my uncle knew how to do it, and he showed me how to put the mouthpiece to my mouth.
And you never stopped. You never stopped until now. I just saw you the other day, and you are terrific.
Where did you see me?
Oh, I saw you in Pasadena.
Oh, yeah. That was a ball. That was a blast.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about the great people you played with. Tell the audience a little bit about, like, Dizzy and so on and so forth.
Oh, man. Well, you know, Jay McShann. I was the only female horn player to play with Charlie Parker, and I played with Duke and Basie. You name them, and Lucky Melody. I played with just about everybody.
Well, Clara,
Uh-huh.
unfortunately, we have so much more to go. I want Nedra to play, and I want Carol to play, and I want James to talk a little bit more about the event.
Okay.
We're looking forward to seeing you. So it was great talking to you.
Same here.
And we'll see.
Thank you very much.
And we'll see you at the event.
All right.
Okay, great.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, there we are. Clara Bryant. She will be the honored guest at the event, at the Lady Jazz event in September, at the end of September, September 29th, 28th?
September 28th, Friday.
At the Ford Amphitheatre. So I am really looking forward to celebrating her, celebrating the band, and celebrating everything.
And tickets are selling out, but there are still seats available.
Okay, great. So let's do it. Now, Nedra, play your bass. I want to hear more sounds. I want to tune in, and I want to hear a little song.
Okay, how about this? You must take the A train.
Great.
You will find you can get to, I forgot my words, Harlem. Oh, you must take the A train. You will find it's the quickest way to get to Harlem. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Don't you hear that train coming? Hurry, hurry. You gotta get up, baby. The steam engine's running. You must take the train. You will find it's the quickest way to get to Harlem.
Oh, that was wonderful. You choose the perfect song.
Oh, really?
You choose sound like you are in tune, I must say.
Elka, that's just the smallest example of what we're going to be doing on Friday, September 28th at the John Anson Ford Amphitheatre, where tickets are still available for Lady Jazz, Kickin' Brass.
Well, let's go. Let's go. Let's tell the world, because I have seen you, as I said earlier, and it's an event. Let's talk a little bit about the women. Who are they, and what are they doing? And I know they have a lot of good causes, like they have a youth program. If you and artist supports. Does anybody know a little bit about it, about what this band does on the side? I mean, you're not only just
Carol,
playing.
You were talking about making your living, I think, before the phone call.
Let's see. Everybody does work professionally in this group. Everybody makes their living playing music, but it's a very diverse group, and I think that that's the thing that's most exciting about this group and something that Laquita looks for. We have this expert percussionist who is from Mexico, and she loves to sing when she plays, and I introduced her to some of these women when we did a concert a few months ago in Pasadena, and the drummer, who's also from Cuba, Maria Martinez, had never met Esther, and she was not expecting to get as excited as she did. As soon as she heard what Esther was bringing to the concert, they came alive. It was like they were a clique. And also when Nedra, I think the first time you heard Esther, it was at the same performance, and they were exchanging numbers and like high-fiving each other. So there is that chemistry.
Yeah. And there are a lot of women. How many women are in this?
This ensemble is a 7-piece, and we're doing the music of Charlie Mingus. Wrote a few arrangements of his music, and that really gives Nedra a place to stretch out, because he was.
I'm so glad that you guys selected Mingus, because Mingus is one of my favorite musicians, composers, bassists, and so I thought that was pretty classy for you guys.
And he's a powerhouse, and Nedra's a powerhouse, and a voice, a very strong voice that gets people up and roaring, even if they don't understand what's going on. They're going, "What is this that's exciting me? What is she doing?"
Right.
That's different, and she throws her whole self in the music, and people are infected by this positive experience.
Thank you, Carol. I'm saying back at Carol because we write, we teach, we compose music, we have CDs and things like that. And one of the things I did in one of my classrooms, I played a recording of Carol playing her saxophone. And I played the recording, and one of the students asked me, "Miss Wheeler, who was that on the sax?" I said, "Oh, that was Carol Chaikin." Okay, so in the vernacular of the kids, "That was a girl."
See, that's why we.
And I thought it was just
It's adorable.
Yeah.
It was adorable, but they really gained another level of appreciation
Exactly.
for not just what Carol's doing, but it just opened a little window to show the students that women can play at a certain level, a high level. I remember a long time ago, had a conversation with Horst Silver, and he talked about, well, the day that you can get women to perform at a really, really high level is the day that women will be recognized in music. And we were just chatting.
Well, I tell you one thing.
You're at that high level.
Well, we're certainly trying to.
Who was it? Ann Patterson
make it happen.
At the event in Pasadena.
In Pasadena, that was Ann.
I mean, she has been around for many years, and she is a powerhouse. And I think all of you are powerhouses. And I think the slogan, whoever came up with it, some of the best jazz musicians in the industry are women. Yeah. And I think you have made great strides. And I think we've just got to support you, and everybody out there. We need to support these women because, I mean, write it down. Whoever has time to come down, because it's another level, like you said. You are all so good, and
it's a wonderful venue for us to express ourselves, and it's not a matter of, some people might think, feminine or masculine or what. It's not that. It's passion.
Music. It's music.
It's music. It's that we've studied and played for our whole lives.
I leave it up to James to give us some parting words, because we have come down to the last 2 minutes. So if we can keep it brief, maybe we all can say a few things. But James,
can we give the number?
It's at the Ford.
It's at the Ford Theater. It's going to be Friday, September 28th. We're going to be getting started at 7 p.m. What you've heard here is just a small microcosm of what we're going to be doing. It's going to be great.
James, I want to thank you for taking the time out and being right here and giving us such good support. Carol, thank you so much for being here and running home and to get your instrument. I appreciate it. And Nedra, again, you are great, just like all of you on that big stage, and it's just wonderful to hear you. If you have like 10 seconds, give us something to the audience.
Okay. And Sweet Baby J is going to be singing a couple numbers too. I wrote some arrangements for her. Okay, let's do Looking Through. It's in 5/4.
Let me say one more thing to the audience. Please don't forget this event. It's something you will not forget. Also, I want to thank the founder, Lakita, because she made it all happen.
That's
about
right.
8 years ago, and so much power to her because she works very hard on it. And thanks again. It
Thank
was
you, Elke.
great having you, and I look forward to seeing you there.
Thank you for having
So-
us.
Thank you, Elke.
Let's have one
Danke
last.
schön.
Okay.
Let's have one last great song.
1,
Thank you.
2, 3, 4, 5.